Worship, Mayor Mandel, Minister Snellgrove, Minister Hancock, fellow recipient Irv, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor to be recognized to the Junior Achievement Alberta Business Hall of Fame. I've always been impressed with the selection of the laureates. Honestly, to be mentioned with the likes of Poole, Rice, Winspear, Allard, Shaw, and Nickel, and other eminent leaders, leaves me with a feeling of inadequacies. I can only regard myself as being honored to be that subject of generous attention. They tell the story of the graduation at which the mothers of several students were sitting together when a third student was singled out to be saluted as the first all-around member of the class. The speaker recited the student's feats of scholarship, deeds in the athletic field, and notable achievements as the leader of his class. As the trophy was being presented, one of the mothers leaned over to another, neither being the parent of the student being honored, and whispered, "That's all fine and dandy, but what do you think the real reason they chose him?" Only the most immodest of recipients of an honor is free from wondering the same thing. Thank you all. To the junior achievers, I say the world is your oyster, and your attitude in business will carry you further than any other individual trait. I'll quickly mention the three elements that drive entrepreneurs. The first one is autonomy. Being your own boss, making the decisions, that's really what it's all about. But you know, it's got to be a little complex. That's the same one. Complexity. You have to have some complexity there. Because the challenges that you get as an entrepreneur aren't cookie-cutter challenges or a solution that's mandated from a manual. And the third is the reward for effort. And it's not only monetary, but being recognized by your peers and community for helping your fellow man above and beyond expectation. The secret is to recognize there are three necessary components to business. They're the mobilization and delivery of results through money, manpower, and management. With these components, every small business goes through that crisis of lessons that you learn along the way. And the first one, the number one, is the key crisis. That's to have the courage to leave a good job and go for your dream. And the second one is the cash crisis. Every business, every entrepreneur does a pro forma, and they always underestimate the costs and overestimate the income. I think they even do that in cities. And then, as you've got these couple under control, there's the delegation crisis, because you can't do everything yourself. So you have to hire someone to do what you do, especially when you're not there. And the fourth, as you're getting better and bigger and more successful, you have the long-term finance crisis. You want to own your own building or your own land, and you have to go into a little debt with the banks. And so you get into a long-term finance crisis. And sometimes that takes you back to a cash crisis and maybe even to a delegation crisis. But if you get over that, you have the fifth crisis, and that's the leadership crisis. And the leadership crisis is one where you have to lead an organization, and sometimes when you can't be there. And that's a difficult one, but if you resolve that, and that takes about 25 to 30 years, and I know that many members in this room have been there, you become prosperous. And when prosperity is a crisis, you know, because you have to do something, and many small businesses end up this way. They pass it on to another young entrepreneur who starts at that first key crisis. But if you're happy with prosperity and you decide you want to invest more, then you're back into the game. And if you continue there, there's the seventh crisis, and it's the perpetuity crisis. And that's tough in small business, because that's when your business lives past your life. And so I know what that's like right now. And that's about it. And if you want to do that, it's the best opportunity in your life. And now, in closing, I'd like to give special thanks and recognition to my wife of 50 years this year, my family, my brother, my partners in business, and the 900 to 1,000 team members that deliver our goods and services to our customers every day. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 2009 Junior Achievement Alberta Business Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Frank Lovsin.